Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Today we're tackling something absolutely huge. We are unlocking one of the most essential skills you could ever have in English, mastering time and dates. Seriously, think about it for a sec. How many times a day do you actually check a clock or look at a calendar? Whether you're trying to catch a bus, schedule a quick meeting, or, just try not to forget your best friend's birthday, our whole lives revolve around time. Getting this down doesn't just boost your vocabulary, it literally unlocks your ability to share your day-to-day life seamlessly. It's kind of the bedrock of almost every conversation you're going to have. So let's get into it.
All right, just to get our brains warmed up a bit, I want you to answer two super basic questions in your head right now. First, what time is it exactly right now? And second, when is your birthday? Did you hesitate? Even for a split second? Well, if you had to pause to translate those thoughts into English, you are in exactly the right place. By the end of this explainer, answering stuff like this is going to be completely second nature to you. We're going to build that confidence up step by step.
So, here's our game plan for today. First, we'll master English time. Second, we'll cover days and months. Third, formatting dates. And fourth, mapping out your daily schedule.
Okay, part one, mastering English time. Let's do this.
Now, before you can actually tell the time, you got to know how to ask for it, right? It's pretty straightforward. What time is it is your classic, casual, everyday go-to. But let's say you're talking to a total stranger, or maybe you're in a more formal setting, like a job interview or something. In that case, you'd probably want to ask, could you tell me the time? Honestly, just memorizing these two simple little phrases will give you the confidence to strike up a conversation with absolutely anyone, anywhere.
So here's a cool little trick. English basically chops the clock straight down the middle. Imagine a classic round wall clock. For the first half of the hour, so minutes 1 to 30, we use the word past. We're literally counting the minutes that have gone past the top of the hour. But the very second we hit minute 31, the whole rule flips. From minute 31 all the way up to 59, we switch to using the word to. We basically stop looking backward at the hour we just left, and we start counting down to the next one. It's kind of like a mini countdown.
Let's lock these rules down. When it's the exact top of the hour, 0 minutes, we say o'clock, like it's 7 o'clock. And like we just talked about, it's past for the first half and to for the second. But English also loves to use fraction words here. So for 15 minutes, we say a quarter, meaning 7:15 is a quarter past 7. For 30 minutes, it's half past. So 7:30, that's half past 7. But wait, remember our rule flip? At 7:45, we've crossed that 30-minute halfway point. So we do not say 45 past. Nope, we say a quarter to 8 because we're exactly 15 minutes away from 8 o'clock. Make sense?
Now, another absolutely crucial thing is specifying whether it's day or night. English relies super heavily on the 12-hour system using AM and PM. It works like this. AM handles everything from midnight up to exactly 11:59 in the morning. So 6 in the morning is just 6 a.m. Then PM totally takes over from noon until 11:59 at night. Because of that, 2:15 in the afternoon becomes a quarter past 2 p.m., and 9:45 at night is a quarter to 10 p.m. It's a pretty simple system, but man, it is vital if you don't want to accidentally show up to a morning meeting in the dead of night.
Moving right along to section 2, days and months.
Let's look at the days of the week. We've got English and Indonesian side by side here, which is honestly fantastic for building those quick mental word associations. Monday is Senin, all the way through Sunday, which is Minggu. But here is the golden rule you absolutely need to remember. In English, days of the week are proper nouns. That means they always, and I mean always, start with a capital letter. Whether you're typing today is Monday or yesterday was Sunday, you've got to capitalize that very first letter. No exceptions.
And it's the exact same story for the 12 months of the year, running from January all the way to December. Actually, you might want to snap a quick screenshot of this for your notes. What's really cool here is that you'll probably notice a lot of patterns. Like January sounds a whole lot like January. August is super close to Augustus. And just like those days of the week we just talked about, the months of the year must start with a capital letter in English too. Spotting these tiny little spelling variations is going to make switching between the two languages feel like a total breeze.
All right, section 3, formatting dates correctly.
Now, before we can write out a full date, we really need to talk about ordinal numbers, which, if you're speaking Indonesian, you'd know as bilangan bertingkat. This is a pretty major difference in English. See, when we talk about dates, we don't just use regular counting numbers like 1, 2, or 3. We use ordinal numbers, first, second, third, fourth.
You'll notice the first has an ST at the end, the second gets an ND, the third has an RD, and most of the rest, like fourth, just end in TH. And this pattern just keeps repeating. That's exactly why 21 is 21st and 31 is 31st. You've got to use these if you want to sound natural when you're talking about dates.
So how does that all come together into a full date? Well, the standard American English date format actually breaks down into 3 really simple steps. Step 1, say the month. Step 2, say the date using that awesome ordinal number we just learned. And step 3, say the year. So let's take July 21st, 2026 as an example. Step 1, month, July. Step 2, date, 21st. Step 3, year, 2026. Put all that together and you've got July 21st, 2026. Easy, right?
Let's ground this in a bit of reality with a super quick dialogue. Imagine someone asks you, "What's today's date?" And you reply, "Today is July 21st, 2026. Notice how simple and direct that is. But remember, when you actually speak it out loud, you naturally drop in that ordinal number, so it sounds like July 21st. Honestly, practicing these quick back-and-forth mini conversations is hands down the best way to move this stuff from just short-term memory straight into long-term fluency.
Which brings us to our final part, Section 4, Creating Your Daily Schedule.
Okay, let's put it all together and map out a typical student's day. Imagine the alarm goes off at 5 a.m., so that's 5 o'clock in the morning, time to wake up. Fast forward to 6:30 a.m. or half past 6 a.m., and it's time to head to school. Then, right in the middle of the day at 12:30, we cross over into PM territory for lunch. That's half past 12 p.m. Then the afternoon rolls on with some studying at 3 p.m. or 3 o'clock p.m. And finally, the whole day wraps up at 9 p.m., 9 o'clock at night when it's time to hit the sack. By connecting these specific times to things you actually do every single day, telling time stops feeling like a math problem and just becomes the rhythm of your life.
I'm actually going to pause for a second here because I want to challenge you. What time do you usually go to school? Or, if you're not a student, what time do you usually head to work? Picture that exact time in your head right now. Got it? Okay. Does it use AM or PM? Are you using past or to? Is it half past or maybe a quarter to? Seriously, translating your own personal everyday routine into English is basically a cheat code. It's the absolute fastest way to cement these rules into your brain forever.
Well, we have covered a tremendous amount of ground today, and I just want to leave you with one final big question. How can you start improving your ability to read time in English like today? And honestly, the answer is just everyday application. Go ahead and change the language on your phone to English right now. The very next time you glance at your watch, mentally say the time in English before you say it in your native language. Mastering time isn't just some boring grammar lesson. It is literally how you navigate your world. So I gotta ask, what time is it for you right now? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and definitely keep practicing.